my youth, when I first started studying global warming, I was really scared for the future. And what I tended to do was get all of my scientific data and beat people over the head with it and tried to convince them that they should be as scared as I was. And you know what? That didn't really work because it just made people want to run away. What we've got to do is have a more thoughtful conversation about the future that we share, and that it's about the environment, and it's about our kids, and it's about ways in which we want the world to be a better place. Climate change and the environment is part of it, but it's a much bigger conversation about the world we want.
Our organization here about this Barefoot College to empower women. They call us at our community and talk to us and say, can you go to Barefoot College to do some solars there? If it is possible for you, it's 6 months. And we go back again to our community and talk this story about our community. And our community say, it is good to you to go there.
I've been learning a lot day by day through people, through what I see from my eyes, through what I can experience to myself. So that's why I say I'm excited all the time. Every day I have to learn something that is new to me. And I experience that like through all the months that's gone past. Till today I'm still excited. And I know it will be the same when I left Barefoot, when I go back to my country.
In my family, I'm the mother and also the father because my husband is dead. So when I go back to Zimbabwe, I think everything is good to me and my family. Yeah.
One light, one room. One light, kitchen. One light, this side.
They don't look only for those who have got degrees or those who have got some certificates. You can do a teacher by experience. Like our teacher who teaches us. Others, they said, I didn't go to school, but through experience, I'm teaching you this.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think about solar energy is freedom. And that may not be what most people think about. What it means is that communities have the opportunity to take their energy needs into their own hands. Communities have the ability to create a microgrid that they control, and all of a sudden, we've got the power to meet our needs, whether it's cooking, charging our cell phones, creating light for us to do homework into the evening. It creates freedom and opportunities for people that they've never had before. And more comprehensive solutions always have to do with other social and political issues as well. We know that female literacy is key to ensuring that solutions actually are embedded in not just half of the community, but the entire community.
When we go back, we'll be the solar engineer, so it's not just there. So we'll have to teach or encourage other women or empower them that they can be something too. So they don't look on themselves down.
I was thinking that engineering was only for men, but this time I know that it was for women and men.
I think there are potentially a couple of benefits. One is you get access to electricity, which in a lot of developing countries is not something that you can take for granted like we take it for granted here in the United States. So getting access to electricity is hugely important as a quality of life issue. You have a second benefit in terms of promoting economic growth and job opportunities, especially for these women who are participating in the program. And then you get the climate benefit, which is that if you're getting electricity from these solar panels, then maybe you don't need to have that coal plant down the road or some other electricity generator that could produce a lot of carbon emissions.
Here in the Northwest, we live in fear of very large earthquakes that we know will disrupt, among other things, electrical systems. Why not think about building resilience by incorporating smaller grid systems into the larger grid systems as well? So we know on a day-to-day basis that provides us with a lot more freedom of choices. In the event of large disasters, it's the only way we're going to be resilient.
What we can do with our economic choices and our economic framework is make it easier for people to make the quote-unquote right choices in terms of environmental impact. From the longer-term perspective, we can make choices that are really going to encourage innovation and new technologies that are going to make it a lot easier for us to live the lives that we want to live without harming the environment. So, solar panels being a perfect example. If you make it cheaper for folks to have renewable energy instead of coal-fired power or natural gas-fired power or other fossil fuels, then you're going to make it a heck of a lot easier for the world to move in a more sustainable direction.
There's a very bright future for solar energy, and it's incredibly important that it's a future that everybody participates in, not just the developed world. Solar energy is one of the best ways that you actually control your energy. You, as an individual, as a family, as a member of a community, you can take back the power to control when and how you get your energy. And that, to me, actually seems like it should be a fundamental human right.
When I go back to Zimbabwe, everything changed. Because now they're very darkness, no lights, no what. But when I go back to Zimbabwe, after some times, Barefoot College send us these solars and use it in our home. I think from dark to lights.
I think there's a really important message to young people. On behalf of my generation, I am really sorry that we have left you with a really big mess. And we are dependent upon your generation to work with us to figure out ways that we are going to deal with energy, food, water, big picture sustainability questions. And what excites me about the coming generation is they don't even know that there's a box to think outside of. It's a generation that values community. They think nothing of having social media interactions with youth around the world. And we need that inventiveness, and we need that sense of global engagement to be able to create the world that my children's children will thrive in.